Rob yells at you, actor, where are you?
That's very turned a
You did. Oh, this is a nice.
My dad turned the light on, the spiders were gone. For years after that, I couldn't go to sleep. The bed was touching the wall. The covers were touching the floor.
I was caught naked at age 5 in the closet with Billy Vandervennet. Apparently, we had been playing strip poker. Mrs. Vandervennet slapped us both and made us dress in separate rooms, where she told me some things in a calm voice. After that, I wasn't supposed to touch Billy unless I had to. During my grandfather's funeral, I was with Billy, swinging on his set in the yard. Each time we swung high and back, the poles would lift some from the dirt. I taught Billy the only swear word I knew that day. Later, the set collapsed. It was probably me.
Don't worry, baby. You won't fall into the well. Don't worry, baby. Your mama won't trade you for a $50 fix. Don't worry, baby. This isn't gonna hurt. Don't worry, baby. Someone's always watching over you.
How did he lie? Arms folded or arms crossed? I was on the floor of my room demonstrating the different arm positions my grandfather could have chosen for my aunt. I don't remember how she answered, but she answered.
Don't worry, baby. Your face will not appear on your own milk carton. Don't worry, baby. This disease is not for you. Don't worry, baby. She isn't going to shoot. Don't worry, baby. Someone's always watching over you.
In the night, as darkness stole my pink vest dress, turned into a headless ghoul, all lacy and crisp with the missing limbs of little girls. Well, the closet would catch on fire with half-beams and wild things that looked like sheets. And I knew that they were after me, and that my parents were dead in the other room, or else they couldn't hear me like parents never can when you really need them.
Don't worry, baby. Parents never die or leave without a backward thought, and children often need a good crack. Don't worry, baby. There's nothing beneath the bed except your brother. Don't worry, baby. Someone's always watching over you.
The wind pulled open all the screens for all the purple people eaters. I yanked her from the drawers.
Don't worry, babe, but always look both ways.
The nightlight had chased its own tail, just like a shadowy dog.
There are lessons to be learned that are not taught. Don't worry, baby. Don't stay out after dark. You never talk to strangers. Report them to the gas man. Kick them in the groin. Duck and cover. Just say no. Bye-bye. Don't worry, baby. Someone's always watching over you.
The old lady's yard was a bird sanctuary. Tall grass and bushes and trees. They used to invite us in for cookies and chocolate. Talk to us about nature and the Audubon Society. One rainy afternoon while we were there, a mouse ran halfway across the rug, died, right in front of the fireplace.
I was always afraid of Soames Pond. Not the little pond, the willow stand, where laughing boys catch alewives in their hands in brown, bright shallows, but the one beyond. There, when the frost makes all the birches burn bright as cow lilies, and the pale sky shines like a polished shell between black spruce and pines. Some strange thing tracks us, turning where we turn.
Dogs. They are scary. Not ordinary dogs, but mad dogs. I've never seen one myself. need out of the biggest man. He's crying out for help from his deepest sleep with the biggest dogs that you've ever seen are closing in behind him. Well, I've never seen one myself. Those dogs are hounds from a distant hell, and I never want to find one, especially in my sleep. The voice to yell, face to creep. Nobody around, except some skinny blonde, except some scared stiff sister staring there beside you.
Tonight there are so very many scary noises that I hardly sleep at all. Each time I close my eyes, another surprise. Rumblings and rattlings in the hall. Do you believe in ghosts? No, I don't think so. I don't know. Who's that? Memorize each creak in the corridor. Learn the way to sneak past each door. Tonight there is a symphony of sound so alien. I can hardly breathe. I can do it. It's a paradox. The whole thing sucks. The noise is supernatural fact. The silence means surprise. You at your back. It's all in your head. So you say, but you're not dead yet. If you want my money, it's all in the bank. If you want to keep me on skinny and stinky, even though I'm white all over, I have not fulfilled.
Man next door has a shovel. He works in his basement at night, and if you should look in his window, you'd run. It's a terrible fright.
When Eddie shot his last person in the drain, he didn't feel like the garbage he expected. He didn't think of mother or a wide sand pit. He just felt finished. Stopping his heartless stopwalk, kicking at the bloodless ground, fixing a ham and mayonnaise sandwich. It's true. Eddie had been dodging paradise all these years in his lower middle management job. And now he felt better than a tire swing on the farm. Now he could speak to Edna about all the mistakes she's made throughout the marriage. When Eddie slid down the basement in his dream and began catching his axe in the plasterboard, stripping it down to the stone foundation, something jiggled in his brain. The people who laid this must have been brawny men, muscling stone against rock, filling in seams with rough hands. How should he arrange his bodies? He didn't know. These areas seemed gray. The poker chop loomed in the corner, and it almost said, everyone has a place. And you found yours. You handed it out.
So don't you go looking in basements. Wander alone at night. Man next door has a shovel. He's coming to get you tonight.
I stuttered till I was 19. Then one day I decided to hell with it. I'm not going to worry. I'll say what I want, stutter or not. Like the others were. I never started since. Except maybe once in a very rare while. Same way with falling asleep in the chapel. Kneeling, I'd usually stay awake. But as soon as I sat, I was gone. Worried about it bothered me. Until I decided to let the others worry. Started kneeling right in the front. I didn't stop falling asleep. I did stop worrying about it.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, speaking of falling asleep, I'm afraid we've come to that portion of our program. It gives me great pleasure to introduce the Wheel of Misfortune!
I'd like to introduce at this time the lovely Vanna from... Okay, we all don't want to waste any time, so let's get right to our contestants. From Paris, France, Lucretia Borges.
That's Paris, Texas, Pat.
Don't you! What do you do in Texas?
Well, I dabble in pharmacology.
How's business?
Well, no one's complaining so far.
Mary Bates from Corn Shower, Wisconsin. What are you doing, Torn Shower?
Well, Pat, my son and I, we own a little motel now.
Lovely, lovely, let's get right to the game. Let's not waste any time. We all know how it's played. Let's look at our categories. Psychotics, sociopaths, schizophrenics, mass murderers, and U.S. President. Mary, you won the toss. You get 2. Spin the wheel. $425. Who was allegedly in the barn eating 3 white pears while inside her stepmother, then 2 hours later her father were bashed in the head with an axe.
And tea leaves patterned her cotton blouse. The day sips its soda from a pink striped straw while she watches his words drop one by one like silly lemon drops into her lap. He doesn't seem to notice how the honeysuckle are bending down to take her deep new secret into their mouths. No, he is talking, and their soft lips are scarlet before he pauses to roll a cigarette. She tries to speak, and the sun drops down. Its chime a sharp edge like a pendulum above his head. She tries to exclaim before the pomegranate split of his head resounds, the blade touching up 1,000 glistening seeds through the parlor. But a barn wren scuffles in the sky. She picks up the tool when it is done, wipes it clean. She walks away, wrapped in her apron.
Lizzie Borden is the correct answer. You win. Lucretia, are you ready to spin the wheel? Big money. 300,000. Who had his picture taken with Rosalind Carter? Ran a Kentucky Fried Chicken franchise. Ran for the presidency of the local JCs. And still found time to mutilate and murder 33 young boys.
He loved those boys, so young, in their jeans. He loved to see them pouring concrete in the hot sun. He loved their eyes, lonely. He loved those boys, their soft hands strong. Loved to see them bound and helpless. He loved their eyes, bulging. He loved those boys in secret, but they knew, and so he loved them smothered in shovels of thick black dirt. He loved their eyes, closed.
John Wayne Gacy is the correct answer. You win the big money. And now, Mary, it's your turn to play catch up right here. Are you ready to? $100. Who preserved the breasts and vaginas of deceased women? Tanned his own dead mother's torso, which he wore late at night, danced in the moonlight.
Ed, you've been a naughty boy. But who can tell what darkness swims between a young boy and his mother? Your little hands snug as a cockle around her fingers now are claws that dip right in. An ocean viscera glistens in the wind of the backyard shed. Poor little Ed, with the hulk of your mother on your back. How sweetly you sing her lullaby with your buzzsaw. Yes, the line is thin between a boy and all the close calls that make him real, washing off the night scene. The bed's only a half room away, but let it reel in his pallid valor, where the moon is just right, and they're dancing in their mother's skin.
Mary.
Yeah?
Ed Gein is correct. You cheese heads, stick together. Here we come with time to do it. Oh, yeah. You want to throw it over there now. You have a chance to win it all and take all these valuable prizes. Lucretia, let's
Spin that wheel!
spin the wheel. Who was London's royal surgeon? Commissioned to eliminate certain common women who were witness to the marriage of the prince and a shopkeeper. Did his job. A little too efficiently.
He knew it had to stop. Satin-gartered ladies, half drunk, laughing loose on street corners, laughter like hot pinned up from talc-white throats, bare swan necks, and the laughing sirens in his ears. He had to stop. He could make it stop behind the door. He catches her off balance in a crush of damp satin and scattering hairpins. Calm hand presses out her smile, mouth corners turning downward. Her screams, only hot breath under his heavy palm. The razor drags a solid red line, monograms of powdered throat. Calmly now. Another slice, precise. A section laid aside, a separation, a study, a lover's bouquet. He brings to me, the laughter stops. He knew it had to stop.
On his 100th anniversary, Jack the Ripper is the
Imagine the victim's family, linked arm in arm, breaking down on the 10 o'clock news, saying, this is enough. Imagine the drifter, the loner, who leaves the road to tear cleanly through their hearts into their lives. Imagine the place then, in our own hands, where this violence falls.
It was the police tape around your body. The stains, my shag wall to wall will never lose. The guy closing each of your eyes. I scalded myself with tea today. Felt okay. This is my third day off from work, allowed for immediate for death. The horizon stretches so far today. No one would get there. No one would want to. Planting tomatoes. There's a certain light, I believe, particles of you glinting, where you continue conversations as if nothing had happened. Caught my hand in a revolving door yesterday. It felt good. You've been dead 6 weeks and 2 days, and shut that music off. And I don't know what the future holds for you. vacation time. My plants grow more every day, and I call them my death tomatoes. Your name is dwindling on our mailbox, and I have a good black marker to cross you off fourth-class mail. And I'll get you off everything in some time. It's been 5 months. I lost my job. I say, to the death, but it's not well received. I take out my canned tomatoes sometimes and hold them to the light, turning them for glimpses of you. Last night, I stubbed my toe on the refrigerator in the dark. I've been to 7 different places now to get away, but more and more, I don't think there's a place for that.
There must be solace in psychosis, 'cause there's comfort in quitting, peace in admitting. I just don't understand all these signs and signals, evidence of a master plan. No, it's just a helping hammer, beating out the rhythm of a cautious superstition. Signs and signals, track.
I wasn't even in kindergarten yet when I joined the boys in the neighborhood in their toad hunt. We didn't have to walk more than a few houses before we'd find one. And the boys, well, they'd send those creatures flying. Great flat stars, spinning legs and arms up into the street light, and descending the warm June night. The toads would pause up there one moment before they'd start their way down and down. It's that moment that I remember. And the vision of the next morning, where toads had exploded in tiny mounds and entrails. It's the toad hunt that I see when I hear news of planes colliding in the sky, or when I see an accident on the street, or when I catch a glimpse of police photos from the scene of a homicide, and try as I might to turn away and to not look, I can't help but relive my gladiator thrill at robbing toads, and I can never look away.
Solace in psychosis, signs and signals. I'm on a parallel path to my own path, scrutinizing my aftermath. I'm tracking signs and signals, track.
She gathers the blonde hair from her shoulders and places it on top of her head. Stabs a shell pin to keep it in place. She loosens the brooch from her neck and kneels in front of me. Without whispering, she smiles and rests her head in my hand, her chin in the lace of my fingers. She holds my legs, clasps her hands behind my knees, And then the light in the room goes out, and I close my eyes in the double darkness of the stream. I feel a tug, and she bites hard. The heel of my hand now wet with blood. I shake my hand and shake my hand, her hair madly painting the floor red. But her teeth won't loosen until I'm convinced this fury is perfect knowledge.
It was nothing like the dream men say we have. You know the dream, where archangel faces tug us down into sin. No. In the dream, he's never this dark. And his only crime is romance. Now you know romance. That quirk that changes liars into storytellers. In the dream, hands don't smell like piss, and buttons undo one by one in a finger dance. They never pop against the L train windows.
The next day in Hollis, New York, a pretty woman crouched underneath the transit platform and patiently waited for evening. She clutched the railroad ties so her body wouldn't be pulled along the tracks, knelt, laid her head on the rail and let the train move in its own certainty. It was a clean distinction except for a single scratch. It started above her right eye and ended at the corner of her mouth. The newspapers reported her name was Sarah.
Nothing tears in the dream, and a song comes from somewhere.
Sarah, too long in white rooms, dreaming of her dead son she couldn't remember if she killed.
You know the song. You made me love
Pretty Sarah
you.
tore up 2 suicide notes and replaced them with an assertion and a caveat. Please, stop the trains. They could damage my head, and it is suffering where it is.
You made me love
Today,
you.
I can't remember who wrote this dream or where I read it. Who knows what we know? How we separate true belief from past accounts when dreaming too long, how we wake, arranging details to make their vision a prophecy.
But nothing tears in that dream. Nothing comes away between your teeth.
There must be silence and violence, doesn't freedom and forgetting, luxury and letting go.
How is she identified?
She's got a scar, 6 inches long, like a sideburn down her cheek, an inch wide at the widest part.
She is identified by the marks on her hands, the trail of wine that ends frozen 4 feet from this point.
This is what she knows. She's smarter than all the rest. The smell of alcohol means pain. She feels nothing when she takes her medicine, and there are voices when she does not, and they always talk about the scar.
She is identified by each person who gave her a lift.
This is what she sees. Hard black hands.
Fed her.
Screaming red faces. Asian doctors with stainless steel instruments.
Fucked her in her tent.
Pained white social workers. Television.
Each one who dropped her off.
All they can tell her is it's not her fault. But she sees they have no scars.
She is identified by the ditch she dies in.
Silence, silence.
Return to the dream. You at the center, like a bad heartbeat. Spread your fingers toward the touch you need. It is disease you hand out. As guest passes, one for you, avoid their eyes. Fist grinds in your chest. Repeat, this is only a dream. It's just a dream.
When I first was found, I felt earthworms curl near my little finger.
This is only a dream.
It's just a dream.
Live in the dream, child, where cocker spaniels and fat ants die at the end of your smile, where you meant to help, but broke the vase and bleeding fit the glass together. Kiss baby brother's face away. Wake up, empty-handed.
I found the earth to smell just like the newborn crown of an infant's head.
Kiss baby brother's face away. Wake up empty-handed.
Come back to life, girl. Blink against pink sunsets, expecting rain. Come back to life, girl. Blink against pink sunsets, expecting
Come back
rain.
to life, girl.
Hold your face up like a rock, wanting smoothness. Though it only comes from wind and time. Choose words. Correct as prayers. Lay down when you're tired.
I knew the night curled down into big-faced flowers.
Choose words. Lay down.
Go to the dream now. Wait for ripening. Hold out for signs they will pulse green. Hang on the crack of a starting gun. Crouch at the gate and wait for a flag.
Come back to life, girl.
Return to the dream.
This is only a dream.
Come back to life, girl.
Return to the space between the two. Hug your knees. Cry. Remember songs. Be good.
Be good.
Be careful of edges, stills. Swallow your pills. And return.
Return to the dream.
This is only a dream.
It's just a dream.
There must be silence in mind from the freedom and forgetting. Loves in me and let it go. Out on a parallel path to my own path. Scrutinizing my aftermath.
I wake sometimes with fingerprints of blood on the wall. Broken lamps, bottles, shreds of someone else's clothes lie on the floor placed in the trail of a crime. I step around them on the way to the bathroom. See a lady dying, paling into age in my mother's room. Each dark fragment of guilt fits in the mirror when I shave. Threads of blood coil, knot, and disappear down the drain when I shower. When I walk to work, I scrape my feet on the white line silhouettes chalked into the sidewalk. And on the train, people around me are very quiet. I sense this is not just quiet. But like the long route, deer pick around the remains of the slaughter. Fear stretches distance, slows time, silhouettes, and silence. I wake sometimes. Fingerprints of blood on the wall.
I always thought I'd know when things went wrong. But people just kept on talking. And
can't describe them in an entertaining way, and I seem to be too narcissistic to make up outrageous stories, or even report on real ones. Too wrapped up in my own, getting up in the morning phase, going to that night phase, getting old phase. Poor performance phase. No performance phase. Car won't start. Bills won't get paid phase. Writer's block. Alzheimer's phase. Track and retrack. 10,000 wrong turn phase. Papers piling up. Letters unanswered. Junk mail unsorted. Some of it makes me feel guilty. Some of it makes me more scared. I'm afraid I'll never get it said. And if I say it, it won't be heard. And if it's heard, it won't be understood, or appreciated, or applauded. Applause, that's what I'm hooked on. It's easier than love. I want applause for my whole damn life. For the meaning that doesn't get into the words. If only I'd learned to listen to you, and to you, and a few special yous who listened a little to me. I'm afraid the whole conversation will dwindle and die. I'll still be trying to get started.
One of you dreams of scarlet, then slips into doorways at night. And one of you looks at your mother, and then walks to the barn for an axe. One of you looks in the mailbox and shudders to read what's inside. Tell me, what makes your fear more real than his?
Hemophobia, hemodipsophobia, hemodipsomaniaphobia, hypnophobia, narcolepsophobia,
I'm afraid of the mail.
apipnitsophobia, agonophobia,
I'm afraid of getting old.
dramatophobia,
I'm afraid of money.
poetophobia,
Afraid of the ball.
critophobia,
I'm afraid of my mother.
antagonistophobia,
I'm afraid of becoming my mother.
thanatophobia, biophobia,
I'm afraid of getting cut.
gynophobia, androphobia, gamophobia, erotophobia,
I'm afraid of missing my cue.
homophobia, heterophobia, polyptophobia,
I'm afraid
gamophobia,
of a career.
plutophobia,
Afraid of getting a haircut.
technophobia,
I'm afraid
xenophobia,
of being alone.
autophobia,
I'm afraid of being on
Psychopoetica.
stage.
triskaidekaphobia,
I'm afraid my dad won't like this.
seismophobia,
Get my flies open.
I'm afraid of the Surgeon General's warnings.
thermophobia,
This is the longest we've ever done.
planophobia,
I'm afraid of going out.
Tell me.
dermatophobia.
What are you afraid of?
Chicago Poetry Ensemble. Gene Howard. Gene Howard, take it off.
Monday night at Wings, and we're going to be at Lower Links.
Thursday.
Next Thursday. Gene Howard.
Gene Howard.
So cute to have cake for you in the lobby, so thank you very much.
This how passionate aficionado.